Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to continue our episodes that include frequently asked questions and tips that are out there that I come across on a regular basis and have been asked in my channel, and I thought appropriate enough that we can share with all of the viewers because, well, the whole idea behind Second Chance Tackle is to transfer knowledge, teach you how to do it yourself, help you gain an understanding of fishing reels, the mechanics of them, the repair of them, the use of those fishing reels, and anything that can make it easier to keep the reels fishing, give them a second chance. Well, that's what this is about, and I think asking questions is never anything called a dumb question, and there's a lot of learning opportunities in questions. So this is episode 7 now of Frequently Asked Questions. I'm going to start with a question that I received about a Shimano Calcutta. This is the Calcutta 400. It's in for service. I haven't started the repair on it yet, but the question concerns the tension washers on a bait casting fishing reel. Now, I just selected the Calcutta because it was here, and it also because it has several of these tension washers. It has 4 tension washers and a flat washer on it. Sometimes you're going to find these tension washers in a pack of 2, not 4. That's okay. And the question is there a correct way to set these washers? Because these washers are, well, they appear to be bent, right? There's a concave or a convex side to them. There's a bevel on them. So I thought the first question we would answer is there a correct way to set these? Every way is correct to set these, but I guess the answer, being more specific, is what do you want in the tension that you get, or the sensitivity that you get on the Star Adjuster. You're only going to find these tension washers on Star Adjuster reels. So if you want very limited tension on that washer, then you want to put them all what I call belly to belly or back to back. That way you have a flat stack of washers. You can see there's no gaps here or spaces. They're already compressed, so the only movement you're going to get as you tighten down on this Star Adjuster is very minimal, to the point where you can get right on to adjusting the drag. Some people like more of a throw, and what you can do in that case is you can move one of them over, kind of flip it belly to belly, or you can move 2 of those over, and that's usually the way they come from the plant. They usually come stacked, where you have belly to belly, and a gap in the middle here. And that's, generally speaking, the most that you're going to get. So you have an inside gap with these, where you can possibly see, it might be a little tough on this film, but there's an inside gap here to the wall because of that belly, and on the second one there's an outside gap here because the rounded area is on the internal there. That's the most sensitivity you can get. Generally speaking, that is what comes from the plant. And in answer to the question, depending on what you want in terms of sensitivity or the amount of time that it's going to take for the Star Adjuster to start clamping down on those drag washers, that's the way you want to set them. So if you just want a limited throw, put them all in the same orientation. If you want the most flexibility, alternate in and out, and that will give you that piece. So I hope that's answered that question. Second question is an interesting one. It says they enjoy the videos. They heard me mention my reels go into a reel bin for parts reels. Wondered, do I document or keep an inventory on the reels that I keep in storage? Memory only. I imagine I have a huge stockpile of parts. So no, I do not keep an inventory. But memory-wise, I seem to remember most of the time what the reels are that are in there, unless there's some unusual reels. I do try to clear out my parts bins, bin reels, if you will, on a regular basis, and I like to give those reels second chances, generally by trying to just package a group of them that I just don't see in my shop. I'll package them as 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 reels. I'll put them up on eBay as parts reels only. And what are those? Those are the oddball reels that just will never come into service for me, quite honestly. But some of those that usually become cast-offs from fishing reel lots that I buy and that you don't see. And they're just unusual brands, if you will, or trade brands. You'll find things like a Master Reel, a Calypso, a Hurricane, but then you'll also find Castmaster or something like that, names that were just manufactured as a lot, and no parts support, kind of disposable reels. So no, I don't keep an inventory of those. When I get to the reels that I do use for parts, most of the time I will try to part those out, because I do know that I'm going to be using those. Those would be Penn reels or Abu Garcia reels or Shimano reels, if you will. I do keep a good inventory on those. I know where they are. They're close at hand. I don't have a count on how much I have in or how much I have out, but I know if I need a spring or if I need an anti-reverse dog. I guess I didn't put that one in inventory, but that's an anti-reverse dog for a Penn Jigmaster, or those kinds of things. I know where to look for them, and it works for me. It probably won't work for other people, but that's a quick explanation of what I do. Hey, here's one. I asked a question and I got an answer to it. This is a pre-war reel that I was able to tune up and make work again. I got it in a part slot. I didn't have an identification on this other than the English pound sign, and I had asked for help out there in the community at large, and I got the answer. This is called the Sterling. That makes sense, pound sterling, and it was most likely manufactured by Montague. And Montague was a reel manufacturer that had in and out relationships with Ocean City. Initially, there was a Montague Reel Company. They were in Brooklyn, New York. There was a Montague Rod Company. They were in Montague, Massachusetts, where it took its name from. Montague used to make some products for Ocean City, particularly the rods, and over time Ocean City actually acquired Montague, and with that acquisition the Montague name kind of went away, and future developments for the most part were by Ocean City. But Montague was well known for manufacturing trade reels. Those are the ones we were just talking about before in terms of parts reels. And those reels bore all kinds of names to them. And there's actually a genre of collectors out there that collect those trade reels. Hey, here's another one that kind of goes along with that first one about parts. This one came in from Ronaldo. He said, as you may or may not know, there used to exist a book for car junkyards that had cross-references to parts. That is, they knew which motors worked in which cars, what parts worked on which motors, what master cylinders are interchangeable, things like that. Does a reference exist for fishing reels? Boy, I wish that one did. I'm not aware of it. I oftentimes can decipher some of the more popular brands, like if you're looking at a Penn reel, for example, the Penn Long Beach line uses a lot of reels reel parts interchangeable with other models of Penn, and I guess you can find those out when you look at a reel schematic and you look for the part number, and a lot of times if they share the same part number, you know that part is being used in multiple reels. But I'm not aware of any cross-reference for fishing reel parts. They're probably out there, but I would certainly like to find ones that cross-reference the commonly used parts like drag washers and bearings. And for those, I don't have a stock. I rely on a couple of companies for those, and those companies for the drag washers would be, if it's a Penn specific, I would use mysticparts.com. If it's another manufacturer's reel, I would use smoothdrag.com. For bearings, you can use Boca Bearing, you can use Smooth Drag. They have cross-references listings, or at least they know which bearings fit. And on eBay, there's an HBR bearing. They're very good with being able to tell you which bearings fit which reels. So thank you for the question, Ronaldo. If I had that cross-referencing piece, I would certainly let you know. And well, we got one more question here that has to do with parts. Actually, this is a tip. This one says, I have a Mitchell 1040 spinning wheel. I don't have that one. and it's different from the 300. The Mitchell 1040s were made in the 1980s. There weren't too many of them made around, but that one has a flip lever switch on it for an anti-reverse override, and it's not this one, but it could occur here. This is an Olympic reel. Oftentimes on these reels, when you take these open, you're going to find a V-clip. Looks like this. And if you're not paying attention to it, like I wasn't paying attention to one the other day, that can fly out pretty quickly. If you don't catch it and you can't find it, what do? Well, this one comes in from Wiggins MST, and he said, here's a tip for you. If you lose that one, go to your wife's bobby pin collection. We all know bobby pins. Snip it off, and the spring on the back end of that bobby pin will act to control that anti-reverse override arm, so that it doesn't just flop out there but has the tension on it that's needed as it rocks back and forth. Thanks for the tip. Appreciate that. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. This is episode 7 of Frequently Asked Questions. They're a lot of fun. I like to take my time to share that knowledge with you. If you like this kind of video, please like it in the where you can on the notification. And if you have a question to ask, leave that question in the comments section. And if you'd like to see more of these, please subscribe. That'll let you know when I'm posting these. And, well, you can get a look at some of the other questions that have been asked, answered, and, well, problem solved. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.